So over the weekend, China hosted a $10,000 tournament for Supervive, which is what we're about to watch here. Let's quickly give a rundown of the comps and see what most people are playing. We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bishops. We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Crystas, 7 O's. We see 2 Felixes, 3 Felixes. We see 3 Felixes, 2 Ghosts, 1 Jhin, 4 Zeph. So the meta for China doesn't look too different from North America. It looks like they value range right now, especially. They think Crysta is really OP. They think Oath is really OP. They think Bishop is OP. They think Zeph is pretty good based on what I'm seeing here. And then the rest of the characters in the comp seem to be just filler. So we can see drop locations and look at how teams want to drop inside of the Chinese meta. What I'm really curious of is how it's going to be differentiated from the North American meta. If like drop locations are going to be different, or everyone's just going to like congregate in like the middle of the map. If one person dropping Cold Fang, one person's going Enshrine. So one downside of us watching this is we're not going to be able to see how people split up, but it looks like people for the most part are going to different parts of the map to farm. So no one's really like heavily contesting something. You can see one team right here. I'll pause this real quick. Oh, I won't pause this real quick. Like one team over here gonna split off and go like Wellspring area, right? Everyone's pretty distributed out there throughout the map. So no one really wants a hot drop, it looks like. Interesting to see. We have an early contest on the train, and they actually are going to get a kill over here? No, they let him live, but they get the stuff from the train. Okay. So interesting to see early contest on train. They do punish the Kingpin for going for the train solo like that, which is pretty smart. Actually, could drop the team that ended up contesting train. Who was that? It was purple? Yeah, purple. And then they're going to be able to use this to go over towards Imhotep and be able to farm that area, or maybe Chaos Steps, depending on how far they want to go. That's pretty good. But yeah, you can see everyone on the map is, for the most part, split up from each other. All teams are in relatively the same area, actually. You can see pink team super spread out. This gray team over here is super clumped together while farming. I'd imagine they fall pretty far behind from this. So what we do in an A is everyone splits up pretty hard and tries to go to any farm they possibly can. Not only to try and get as much farm as possible for yourself so you get more gold and levels, obviously, but also because if you split up and you start running at other places on the map to be able to farm, you start denying enemies farm as well. And so we're seeing a little bit of that here, but yeah, you can see the Oath over here on his lonesome trying to look for some farm, and you see a little bit of splitting up, but not as much as I would expect. I feel like they should be splitting up even more. The interesting start of the game. See a glider jet taking on the Zeph. He got it from the biome boss, I'm assuming, as this biome has increased chance to get glider jet. You see vaults being taken all across everywhere. Obviously powers aren't in abundance on this patch. You're not able to buy them from the global shop, so being able to actually do vaults to get powers is pretty important right now. At a different Asian server? I have no idea. That's why we're watching this. I'm actually curious what the meta is going to look like. I'm curious to see how they take fights. I was curious to see what characters they play, but it looks like their meta is not too different. I don't see like a bunch of like super aggro stuff. The biggest thing is maybe after the nerfs, they don't play as much Kingpin as like the West does. Both EU and NA play a lot of Kingpin. Maybe they wouldn't on this patch because things like Bishop, Crysta are too OP, but last patch especially, so much Kingpin. I think 8 out of 10 teams in our last tournament that we won had Kingpin. We see not really too much going on right now. Map is just being farmed. Teams are kind of together. Around this time is the time where people start grouping. They've all farmed their level 6s, their level 7s. They have mostly blue weapons. So I'm expecting to see teams start grouping up together. Yeah, you can see pink team over here. The one who split up the most is level 8 right now. They're probably the strongest in the lobby, as the Oath is not hitting 7 for some reason. The Zeph is level 8 now. Yeah, those guys are massive. If they just start running around and fighting, their comp is really strong in fights too. Should be free for them. We'll see though. We'll see. They also have a yearbook as well because they won Academy. Of the Nightball spawning in 30 seconds. You see a little bit of a fight breaking out down here between Rat and BTC. Got some chonker cannon action going on here. Very smart of him to put it on the wall like that so it can bounce over here and be super annoying. It actually screws over the Crysta super hard. As you can see, the Shiv trying to 1v4 over here, able to take the Felix down on his own, trying to go for a little bit more, but it doesn't look like he'll be able to get too much as he is taken down by the Crysta. I'm not sure how the Chinese scoring works. I don't know if you get points for knocks or if you have to like fully down someone in order to get points, or maybe it's only placement. I'm not sure. But if you get points only for kills and not for knocks, then the Shiv didn't really do too much there, honestly. There is resurgence in some of these lobbies. I'm not sure if it's enabled in the Chinese lobby. We'll see. If there is resurgence, then it's not too big of a deal. As you see, purple, yeah, purple team's alive right now. So I think they rezzed them. Pink team's in a fight over here, and the Oath is actually down already, dying into the abyss. He engaged a little bit too early, got cut off by the storm, or right in front of the storm. The rest of his team having to ditch him. So you can see a few teams still pretty scattered. You can see people are on the outskirts of the map for the most part. So one thing I notice a lot in the tournaments is I feel like a lot of teams don't like to take the center of the storm because they feel like other teams are going to be there or it's harder to get farm. So it's interesting to see where teams end up grouping up as there is resurgence. This guy just respawned. The oath, that is. On top of the Crysta. You see Crysta going in trying to abuse the other Crysta, but the other Crysta just gets out. Nice. Unfortunately, I can't read most of their names because I don't speak Chinese. So we're going to be calling people by their characters. You're going to hear a lot of Crysta. So Jay just started. Everyone's going to be farming again. Really, honestly, not too much has happened right now. I can't really evaluate like how different the meta is in KR. Or not KR. This is China, my bad. I can't tell how different the meta is in China so far. It feels pretty similar to NA. I'm also somewhat curious to see how they play out fights. If they're mechanically better than the NA players are, or what's going on there. As... Oh yeah, this guy... this guy's on the leaderboard, the Bebo. Dick 18 centimeter Pro Max. This guy... I don't know how they allow his IGN, but it's kind of wild. Bebo just throwing out bombs, trying to be a little bit of a nuisance. Interestingly, I actually think Bebo's an underused character, but I feel like most of the reason why he's underused is because he has to be... You have to put a lot of hours into Bebo to make him good. And I think people don't want to put those hours into Bebo because they feel like he's not that great right now. You see a little bit of engage. The Bebo carting into the Oath right now. Oath forced out of the fight as the Crysta on the backline is able to take down the green team's Felix and Crysta, but both come up from the Oath. Dig PP Max taken down as the Zeph is forced to ult. The Crysta healing in the backline as the Oath tries to pressure forward into the Oath, but it looks like green team is going to be forced out of here, getting downed once again. Only the Crysta and the Oath remain, and purple team is going to be chasing this Oath, though he's going to get out with that hover wings. It's only 2 dead for green team. They can res over here at the south side of Cold Fang. They don't know that another team is Skyrats right now, but they can hit the Oracle on the way over here, and they do have control of the bonfire, so they should be able to stabilize, but we'll see what ends up happening. Interestingly, not too much contesting of the Soul. Only 2 teams there right there. I would think there would be more, as this patch, I feel like Souls are insanely strong. No one has looted the Soul yet. Wait. Are they doing that to make it so the storm doesn't come as soon as possible? That's wild. That's actually really smart. I've actually thought about doing this before. What you do is if you want to stay in an area and you want to like farm out an area, you don't take the Soul instantly if it's guaranteed, because you don't want the storm from the Soul to come out, right? And you can time it so it cuts off more of the zone for a longer amount of time too. So you can farm the area and then cut off more of the zone for more longer, and then you're stronger, and so it makes it so other teams are forced to run into you more, or more likely to be forced to run into you. It's really smart, actually. I like that. And here's one of the notorious players, D2 No Idea. This guy is, I mean, you guys already know him, Jewel Extraordinaire over here, looking like he's taking up the Bishop. I'm curious to see how he ends up playing on it. His Jewel is absolutely crazy, by the way. I think either tomorrow or the day after we'll be spectating that. I'm going to be showing you guys how crazy this guy's Jewel is. This guy is insane. He's so much better than North American Jewels. It's actually insane what he does on that character. This guy's a monster. You can see people even splitting up into Storm to farm over here. Very smart from them. Not really like a meta thing, but just like very efficient. There's no reason for you not to do that if you're not going to get punished for it. I'm really curious to see how we're going to see these like final circles end up playing out. I wonder if they play more aggro, if they end up playing like super ratty and everyone just like waits for the other teams to get pressured into spots. Because what happens in North America is I feel like people go super hard. As a good catch out from the Oath, a nice stun coming out from the Abyssal Breaker, and that ends up with the Crysta getting downed from BTC. Looks like not too much action happening on the rest of the map right now, but north side, 2 teams might end up fighting into each other, orange and brown. We're spectating red team. I don't have control of the observer, so I can't really see too much, but nope, orange team looks like they're backing off here. Neither team wants to fight. They have no vision. They have no Oracle right now. Obviously, the Oracle being inside of the storm, so no one hitting it, I'm assuming. One interesting thing about the way the zone is closing right now is I think there's only 1 Oracle in play right now, so only 1 team will have true vision. As, yeah, I mentioned it right there earlier, but right there, the Kingpin hooking the farm out of the storm so they can farm it and get a little bit more levels. It is interesting to see the level disparity here. As you see, levels prioritized on the Crysta, level 11 on Crysta, which is really smart because obviously she's the hyper carry. She scales extremely well with levels. Her abilities just go absolutely crazy once you get points in them. And then obviously, as you get more AP, you just start doing obscene amounts of damage as her scalings are insane, especially to relative to how fast she outputs her abilities. We see 3 teams congregating onto this top left area of the map over here. Purple, pink, and brown. all potentially going to run into each other. One team goes for the res, but ends up getting taken down. As a result, BTC losing their Bebo earlier and gets punished for that. Only the Shiv remaining on that team. Hiding in the bush is Amino. I want to see people just like start jump padding on each other in these later stages. That's how North America plays it. That's how Europe plays it. People just start jump padding in and just going absolutely crazy. So the thing is though, the meta right now is much slower. You have things like Crysta, you have Bishop, right? These are characters that probably want to wait a little bit, start throwing out their RMBs if you're the Bishop with the satchel charge and getting a little bit of poke out like that. With Crysta, obviously you're fishing for engages with your RMB, shift RMB in, try to get a little bit of poke, all these kinds of things, right? So not quite as aggressive of a meta, so we might not see as much jump pad action, but we do have a lot of oats, which does mean a lot of potential game-changing ultimates from the Abyssal Breaker. Interestingly, I'm not seeing any damage oats inside of Korea. I'm seeing only tank oats right now. Every single one of them is building tank, or at least the 4 I've seen on my screen so far. There are 8 oats in this game. We can see as we pan over to the other oats if they're building damage as well. But I actually think, assuming everyone else is in high elo or doing a high elo play, that tank oath or the hybrid oath is probably the best variant you can go. But I haven't really seen too much of China, so I'm not sure what the lobby quality is like. The North American meta is, your goal is basically to try and farm every other team and snowball extremely hard in order to get points, right? But in China, it looks like there's a lot of teams right now. We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams alive. No, all 10 teams are alive. Top right here, right over here. 10 teams alive, 37 players still. As these zones are closing in, as Rat ends up engaging over here into QME. One going down, Fischl taking down the Oath. The Kingpin lands the hook, but that is not a good hook for you to land. He's going to get chased down by the Crysta over here. There's no way you're able to have the mobility to get out as the Kingpin, as, you know, why am I even speaking? As he might actually get out. The Crown actually gotten off by the Shiv, and then Teal team is engaging on Red team over here. Red team has no cooldowns. The Felix forced the ult out, and somehow Teal team got back in the game despite losing all their members super early on. Really precarious spot over here by Hot Pink. They're stuck in between the storm. If a team ends up jumping on top of them, they're going to be in pretty hot water, as Purple team ends up jumping in actually on top of Light Green. But I don't think Purple knows what kind of situation they're in, stuck in between two teams. They don't know if Pink has jump pads right now, and so this is a little bit sketchy for them. Weirdly, the storm actually somewhat helping Hot Pink over here, as they have the anomaly to get out if they're ever engaged on. I didn't even notice that. They're inside of the vaults right now. Light Green forced to use a jump pad to get out, and using Bishop's cheating ability to get over that insanely high wall. I don't know if any other character in the game could actually get over that. Dude, that Bishop character is so messed up after the buffs, by the way. Dude, I see the gap strategy over here of the 30,000 chakra cannons laid down, as Light Pink over here is in a little bit of trouble, forced off into the storm. Rat is trying to push forward through green to try and get to safety, to not get pincered by Light Pink over here. As the Felix engages, hits a heat shield on 4, forces 3 members of Rat out, and 1 of Rat is going to go down as a result. But Pink team here on the backside gets a nice engage onto Light Green, but not going to push forward. It looks like they're playing very passively, letting Light Green heal up. But no, a great chunk on the Crysta. Crysta forced completely out of the fight. Not going to get picked off by Rat over here, though. They ended up leaving the area, being a little bit scared, as they are down a member. And there's so much action going on. Even the observers are confused about what to do right now. Dude, these endgame circles are going to be so crazy with so many teams alive. Maybe I should just start skipping to the endgame circles instead of actually watching the entire game. This is way cooler. We have Light Green, or Dark Green actually, hard forcing onto Cat over here. Cat in complete shambles. 1 member left alive. Crysta on her lonesome. Now that is a broken character, but you have an Oath Shield in front of you. I don't know if you're going to be able to land enough abilities to rout any of the enemy team's members. He is out of there, but Rat on his backside, on his tail over here. Rat, turns out, beats the Cat. I'm pretty sure that's an inaccurate lore matchup going on, as we have Hot Pink over here, stuck in between 2 teams once again. Dude, this is the tale of this game so far. 2 teams, or 1 team continuously sandwiched between 2 teams. Dark Green, actually. Dude, there's so many colors, so many names. Jesus Christ, I suck at this. There's too much going on right now. The Bishop ult forced onto the lonesome member of Brown team over here, the Oath, for QAQ. Is he just going to heal up the Bishop, deciding he can't force too much without not knowing where the zone is? Is this cross country? Is that why everyone's moving so much? Green team has a phenomenal position here, by the way. Having that high ground, making it so the only teams that can come in are from the anomaly. No team's going to want to contest them because they already have positioning. They have great ability to hold the area too, because they have the Bebo, right? So dark green is actually probably in the best position to win this game right now, or at the very least be the kings of this zone. Orange team is in a very, very troubling spot right now. I think they have two teams behind them. They're in between rat and dark green, and for them to get to safety, realistically, I mean, I guess they could play a little bit north side, but they might have to run through everybody over here. I see a two-way down from hot pink. Dude, these final zones are so chaotic. You have them huddling on their bonfire, trying to get a little bit of warmth, trying to get a little bit of their HP back, trying to take positioning behind rat. This is pretty smart, as if they can get behind rat towards that Skyrat's area, rat is not going to be able to actually engage on them without being scared of the third party. So whoever gets control of this little corridor right here is in a good position for the rest of that storm. As you see two solo players huddling right next to each other right here, just trying to rat for placement as much as possible. They can't engage on each other because if they start hitting each other, it's going to alert other people to where they are, and they're going to end up dying. One thing to note right there is the Bishop popped Little Cook. He popped that Little Cook so he could potentially get a jump pad and be able to jump pad over in case he has to run out of any of these situations. And obviously abusing his mobility with that Bishop. As we see these Chakra Cannons putting in absolute work. This is why we think Chakra Cannons are so strong, especially in these endgame circles, just able to zone out so many teams over here. As one member is actually taken down from Orange Team, the Crysta ult coming out from Rat, forcing Orange Team back even further, and then Rat's taking control of that corridor that I was talking about, and the Storm is actually moving towards that direction as well. Rat's in a prime position right now for the upcoming Storm shift, or Storm change rather, as you see JBC on the back line of Teal over here, potentially going to get the pick on the Shiv, but extremely low are their health bars. Maybe the Jhin can look for a little bit of a flank over here. Let's see if he can get a little bit going on, but no, he's a little bit too scared. He thinks there's too many teams in the area. He doesn't want to look for anything, which is really surprising. So many players on dark green were so low right there. I feel like he should have engaged in and looked for something. He had his clone up. He could have gotten out fairly easily, I feel. But no, gonna decide he wants to play for placement here rather than looking for some kills or to potentially get his teammate back. You see the Bishop we talked about earlier, ratting behind with the jump pad, with the ult, but is taken down in the end by BTC sniping that kill. We have Rat, the only team in the New Storm currently. They have great positioning here. They can actually take control of the Forge, and as long as they hold the Forge, any team coming in is not going to want to fight them. The Lonesome Oath that we saw earlier, still alive over here. The last solo player, I believe. 6 teams left in the zone. Let's see what they can do. As Orange Team has to be a little bit careful here. They can get pincered. They start taking control of the Forge, but this Forge is a little bit risky if they don't have a jump pad, if they don't have some way of getting out. They do have the two-way tunneler. Okay, that's one way they have of getting out. They have a bungee shot as well. And yes, they take the two-way tunneler out to a little bit more of safety. They're able to pick up the crown as well, but I'm not sure if that was a good idea. It alerts others to your position. It makes you a big enemy over here. A lot of teams are going to want to force on you, especially the down players, as the bonfire actually ends up damaging 2 members of Rat, taking him down to half HP. But Teal Team cannot engage on this. There's too many teams in the area. The zones are getting too small. And this straggler from Brown Team is taken down. You see, this is what happens when you have the crown. Orange Team gets forced on inside of this Forge right here by JBC. And they're going to be taken down. Rat not able to take that kill secure. But are they going to be able to force onto JBC inside of this Forge? The Oath ult comes out, damaging 3 members of Rat. The Bishop ult comes inside, but they are tonk inside of the Felix ult. 3-man heat shields coming out, routing almost all the members of Rats. 1 left alive. Regier is proccing on Rat, but he's not able to live long enough to actually get it off. And JBC, the amazing engage from the Bebo, actually. The Tonk coming out. Able to group 3 of them up for the Felix ult. That was disgusting. What a wombo. So we have 3 teams left alive only, actually. It looks like 1 team died off to the side while we're watching that fight. We have Teal over here, which was the team in shambles earlier that got the crown off from the Shiv. Though it looks like currently they are down a member. The Shiv in question saved their team, but is currently not going to participate in this final fight. It looks like Dark Green is going to be the favorites for winning this first game. They do have Regier. They have a nuke to be able to push people off of these bonfires. They have Chakra Cannon set up, and they have a super strong team comp. They have a lot of disengage as well, and they can play at range. And they also have Armor Soul. So a lot of stuff going on for them as an insane push from MMB, forcing light green, or no, Teal actually. Yeah, Teal off of their position into dark green. That was an insane. I need to watch that again. Wait, why did they go for that? There has to be like some sort of trigger here that made them want to hard engage right here. What was it? They saw them picking up the base and they decided it was a good time to just full send it? No vision of dark green here either. That looked... I'm not sure why they went for that play. Obviously, it ended up working out, but that seems super sketchy. If you're blowing those kind of cooldowns, dark green's right around the corner. You have no idea where they are. Now, luckily, they are able to force light green off their spots. Maybe they identified that the new storm shift coming in north of them was a position that they weren't primed to get into. As you see, the bishop ult forced out over here, and that's likely just going to be the last member of BTC fed over to dark green. As actually, no, none of them want to commit for this. Dark green saying that they just want positioning of this last zone rather than trying to greed for the kill. That's pretty smart, actually. The two-way teleporter in, but no, they get heat shielded instantly. Dude, this observer needs to move this stuff up. I can't see anything going on in the fight. I see a heat shield on 3 members once again. The Crysta getting so many resets, dashing around like a maniac, but I pretty much couldn't see anything in that fight. The Rewinder comes out. He's able to snipe a kill on the Oath, but in the end, JBC takes game 1. What did the observer do there? That was wild. The entire fight is going on and the observer just went AFK. Let's see if anyone made any change-ups coming into game 2. We see Crysta on pretty much every single team except for the Hudson team. We see 2 Felixes again. 3 Felixes, my bad. For the most part, it looks pretty similar to last game. I don't think anyone actually swapped off their picks. JBC, the winning team with the unique team comp. They have the Oath, Felix, and Bebo here. I mentioned it before and I'll say it again. I think Bebo is an underrated character. I think people just don't want to put in the hours to make Bebo work. And me personally, I'm not a fan of Bebo, so I'm not going to be doing it, as that character's kit is really cringe to me. I just don't like his playstyle. But if I did, I'd put in the hours to make him work, because I actually think he's legitimately good. I think he's an A-tier character. I think he's very solid. I think people won't know how to play against him. I think he has a lot of options he can do. He fits in many team comps because he can both play aggressively and heal back. He's a very strong character overall. Let's look at the drop locations in this game too to see where people are. Yeah, it looks like people are just going into their own places. No one's doing any hot drops. Everyone's just trying to farm in this early game. No one wants to get the shards. No one wants to fall behind an EXP. The shards aren't quite worth it. Pretty much what is happening is everyone is hitting 7, and if they can get in fights at that point, they'll look for them. But in these early games, people are just trying to get as much farm as possible. As you see, actually, as I say that, brown team contesting a little bit of the farm over here, but probably not going to look for a fight afterward. Likely just trying to take as much farm as they can from the team over here on the vaults. Dark green, actually. So I'm surprised dark green is just completely conceding the farm there. Seems abnormal. Dude, I feel so bad for any team that ends up inside of Chaos Steps right now. It feels so hard to farm this biome because these mobs never die. The stagger doesn't work properly on this patch. You have to always hit them from behind, so they're only hittable half the time anyway. It's so hard to get them to stagger. They do so much damage. They're so annoying. They're so tanky. This biome is evil. It's literally evil. They stagger less than every other mob in the game. The stagger does less damage than it does to other mobs for I don't know what reason. And then they just take less damage in general. And then they do more damage than every other mob in the game too. That zone just needs a revamp, I think. So honestly, right now, we just see pretty much the same exact thing that was going on in game 1. Honestly, I'm just going to skip ahead a little bit over here, as I don't think anyone wants to watch the boring snooze fiesta that is everyone farming to level 7 and getting their weapons up, right? Pretty standard, but not really too much going on. There's no contesting of each other. There is no laning phase going on, and there's no reason for me to watch it. So let's go start watching some fights instead, as JBC, the team that actually won the last game over here, potentially contesting, but no, they're just going to go off and try to hit level 7 forward a little bit more until fights start rolling up. As actually, as I say that, it looks like orange and light green are fighting over here. Have the Hudson ult come out, but it doesn't look like too much chase. Not able to quite catch up to the Crysta. And the Oath getting a lot of spikes over here with his LMB. But the RMB backwards from the Bishop, able to catch out the Oath. And the Oath is going to go down. Now, Crysta... Oh, I thought that was an enemy arrow rain. All right, no, he's chill, he's chill. Gonna get out of here. Let's get forward a little bit more to a little bit more action, as it looks like fighting over the night boss is occurring. Honestly, somewhat surprised. So in League, China is an extremely aggressive region, right? But in this game, I feel like there's not too much contesting of the bosses and whatnot. It's mainly only 1 or 2 teams that end up on each boss. No one's really like going out of their way to contest it. As the Crysta ult goes wide there, so does the RMB. Bungee shot landed on him, but pulled into nothing. And did he just get spiked by the barbed wire? Okay. I didn't even know that was possible. Apparently you can get spiked by barbed wire. Did you guys know that? Well, if you didn't, now you learned. Lesson learned, boys and girls. Don't glide into the barbed wire. Though honestly, you probably don't even need to know the lesson because who the hell locks in Hudson? Unironically. Apparently these guys do. Which is really weird because I feel like Crysta farms Hudson. But actually, it's not besides the point. Why would you lock in Hudson in this meta? Maybe a Hudson one trick? That begs another question. Why would you one trick Hudson? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. See, a little bit of farming, day cycle just changed. So everyone's going to be getting their levels, trying to hit that level 9, level 10 area, trying to get that level 2 of their ultimate if possible. So one thing I haven't seen yet, I haven't been looking too much. I feel like, all right, I want to point out something here. So you see this, Zaf has 1 purple and 1 green weapon. You guys know why this is? Well, actually, I can tell you. Because, or even though blue weapons are more valuable than the green weapons, right? And going from blue to purple doesn't give you as much value as going from green to blue does. If you're using the power shards to do it, you get more gold value out of upgrading your equipment from blue to purple than you do from gold or from green to blue. As green to blue is only 1,000, but then blue to purple is 2,000, and then purple to yellow is 4,000. So you're getting more gold value if you don't need the power spike of the damage, which is what he's likely relying on here, and something you'll see me do often when I play the game. I think it's a mistake to use the power shards before you hit blue unless you have 30,000 of them. Too easy to get that low amount of gold if you only need 1,000, and it becomes much too hard. As you see, yeah, another player over here doing this as well. He has a purple and a green, which means they were able to get a kill, and he just leveled up his purple instead of going for the double blues, as we'll see sometimes happen. A hook landed from the Kingpin, able to get the slam, and that is an insta down on the Crysta, the most OP character on their team, but they do drop the boombox. They are getting him alive, but another hook landed, and second player taken out from Rat. Fittingly so, it is the Rat from their team. As you see, the Crysta ult come in, taken down to half HP, is Light Pink, and 1 retaliation kill so far. The Bishop R&B so deadly, able to take out half the HP of Light Pink and force them away. And actually, Rat, despite losing 2 players at the start of that fight, are able to come out ahead. The boombox actually being so clutch there, able to get the res off on their Crysta. So we have one of the souls taken over here, the damage soul by purple team. And we have an orange team over here that is pretty underleveled. They do have a yellow armor on the Crysta, deciding that's going to be their hyper carry. A good one to pick, if we're being quite honest. As the Oath Shield is taken pretty low, a jump pad put down. They do have a rewinder if they want to look to play a little bit aggro with the Shiv. We'll have to see if they go in. But no, they actually decide they don't want this fight. Somewhat surprising. It looks like a waste of a jump pad then. And that's 3k gold per jump pad now on this patch. So that feels pretty bad if you're purple. I'm surprised they didn't want to take that fight. I feel like they had better positioning. They had orange to the wall of the storm. They had the soul. They had knowledge of the area. I think they had the bonfire as well. Very weird. Me personally, I probably would have taken that fight. But you know what? Maybe that's why I'm not competing for $10,000 right now. See, the Chonkers bought up by Cat once again. Actually, I don't think it was Cat that had it last time. I think it was JBC. But we see teams are prioing buying the Chonker cannons from the shop over in mana coils. Something interesting to note. It looks like China likes buying powers from the shop on this patch. I haven't been doing it too much personally, but we see the engage from the Shiv over here. He's going to be forced to rewind her back. Yep. And that's an ultimate down. All the cooldowns of the Shiv used, and a third party coming out from light green over here, but playing it actually pretty slow, not looking for the instant engage. I'm surprised not looking for anything here, actually, as they hard force onto one of the members of Rat as he's completely isolated. Meanwhile, Rat forcing onto purple as well at the same time. The boombox coming out and keeping them nice and healthy. Can purple get their member up? They are able to, and they are going to go out. Rat's living at 1 HP on that Bishop. The Zeph missing his auto attack, not quite able to take him down. Rat was trying to go for the crown right there, but did not have the time to get it. And like green, the patience actually paying off, them able to get a kill onto one of the members of Rat there and get out scot-free. I will say Rat's usage of the boombox so far has been very, very good. I like what they've done with it both times. I'll often see people use boomboxes in very bad fashions, especially since the item can sometimes even turn the team or tide of the fight against you, against your team. But right there, keeping his team so healthy when they had to get, or when they were getting third partied, and then also in the fight before that, able to keep one of their members alive and get him up with the oath heal, and then just standing on top of that. As purple, able to find a pick onto light pink, but the Zeph ult comes out and is able to get the ghost right back up, and light green once again coming out with the third party, looking on the Shiv. The Zeph ult comes out, Shiv taking a 1 HP. The Bishop ult goes wide, meaning Shiv is able to rewind her back and stay nice and healthy over here. We can see once again 10 teams alive as day 3 starts. The Chinese meta, it looks like teams are a lot more able to stay alive into these later stages of the game, which makes for a more interesting game in my opinion. And I can understand why because of that. They're trying to play these more backlane comps, right? You see a lot more of these defensive oaths rather than the aggressive ones. In North America, you see a lot more aggressive picks like the Kingpin, like the Brawl, like the Celeste, right? Because these lobbies will, if I'm being honest, they vary very highly in quality, but it looks like a lot more people here are able to stay alive until the end stages of these games. You can see often, even though one team ends up winning a fight, the other members of that team are able to run away. As you see the engage from the Zeph nade over here actually forces Light Green away, and the crown not going to go off, but they are able to get the death box res is the oath, and Brad looking for their turn to third party Light Green on the receiving end of a third party for the first time this game after doing it to 3 other teams. The Bishop ult goes in, able to land the punch into the wall, 1 HP on everyone on Light Green, but the R&B comes out, knocking Bishop back into him, but Zeph not able to end up finding the revenge kill. The hook lands from the Kingpin, but he ends up sealing his own fate because of it. Hudson, the only member left alive, and no barbed wire is going to save you here. Hudson's going to go down, and Light Green goes down for their sins. The Felix ult comes out, trying to stop Purple, but Purple trying to get the revenge for the third parties that were happening earlier against them in the fights that they were winning. But Rats, only 1 member going down so far. Maybe 2, actually. I can't quite tell. Yeah, 2 members actually going down, as that was the world's weirdest recall. Like, I just recalled 1 millimeter. Huh, interesting. So Rad now is gonna have to try and look for either a crown, maybe they can buy one, or try to go for a res. But with this many teams alive, getting reses off at this stage of the game seems borderline impossible. So maybe Rad's gonna have to live up to their name and start hiding in a bush or something here. We see, even despite all this chaos going on, day 4 right now, endgame coming up, 9 teams still alive, by the way. Compare this to the North American lobbies, as we just saw someone die to Worlds. Okay, love to see it. It's interesting to see so many more teams alive in these final circles. It's just too different from what I'm used to. I'm too used to having maybe 4 teams alive once you get to like the actual like closing circles. I'm not used to seeing 9 teams alive right now. It's very rare, if ever, that I'll see anywhere near this amount of teams alive in a North American tournament. So I like that both teams here try to identify, or kind of identify, that if they go on each other, they're probably going to get third-partied. So neither team wants to force, even though Pink actually has a pretty good position to force onto Light Green here. It just puts them in a bad position, so they're kind of forced not to. But imagine an Oath ult just coming out and just like rocking these guys. These guys have no Oath, so an Oath ult down that corridor, they are screwed. But there's just no reason to fight there. You get third-partied, you have to move back into the zone anyway with no cooldowns. It's just a bad situation overall. You see Rats living up to the name, as we said earlier, just sitting over here in these corners. And the Felix waiting in the bush right now. Kind of funny. Surprised he's not heat shielding these guys. Good trigger control right now. And surprised no one's checking that bush either, as the Felix finally gets taken out of the bush, forced to use his ult, and comes back to 369. Isn't that a League player? As the Crysta goes down to Hot's Pink in the north end of the fight, and Rad is going to go down in 9th place. 8 teams left alive in this final circle. We see so many teams just so close to each other, but no team wants to engage on top of each other. This is why you see range just prioritized so much in these team comps. I don't know why I have my cursor there. I'm literally trolling you guys. I apologize for that. The Bishop just straight up ulted on top of the Oath over here. And you see absolute chaos breaks out right now as Purple team looking for blood in the water over here. Third partying once again. I don't know why the Bishop just full center right there, but Jesus Christ, these guys are madmen when it comes to these endgame situations. So many Purple team grouped up and no one third partying them right here. Somewhat surprised with this, especially given how many pings are going on. The boombox thrown down. Purple at full HP on all their members. Brown team completely forced out of there. And finally, Orange team comes in to try and mess with Purple, taking down extremely low. The Shiv just barely dodging the myth ult. And they're stuck in this tight little choke over here. Is Pink gonna identify it, or are they gonna let them go? As it looks like Purple's actually kind of getting away with this. Absolutely insane. The Zeph even alive on that top side of the fight, as Orange team over here is aggroed on a little bit too, but forced off was the team fighting them, as now Orange is ahead in this fight, able to find, I think, the last member over here of Light Green. So much chaos going on right now. They finally have the advantageous position in the map. Purple team able to get up one of their members right now. Brown ends up getting a crown. Are they going to be able to find the pick on the Oath? The Oath, the last member alive, but no. Brown team cannot find that pick. Force the dagger out is QAQ, and he's taken down while eating that vulnerable. Oof, gets punched in the mouth. That's gotta hurt. And Crysta forcing onto the other Crysta from purple team over here. Level 15 is he, but still losing out on that 1v1 as orange team looks primed right now to play extremely aggressively, forcing purple team into a bad spot over here into the forge. But that forge is in between 3 different teams as the oath goes in. Cat pushing the Zeph into the corner of this forge over here. You can see Zeph healing up, throwing the jump pad, throwing the boombox. And the boombox usages, I just want to say, have been so good every single time I've seen it come out so far this game. So good. Purple once again in a bad spot, now running back into the team that was actually routing them earlier, orange team over here, as orange team not committing too hard to them. A crown taken up by purple, but that might just end up becoming EXP fodder for orange team, as Zeph just sitting over here, probably gonna have to anomaly into the forge. We'll have to see how long he ends up gliding out there, as which team does he want to int here? This is really, really hard for him. You can see him feathering over here, trying to get, ooh, a snipe. Ooh, can't even feather for the heal. Good snipe coming out from 369. As orange is the best spot right now. No team below them. So much zone. And the zone ends up moving over towards them as well. Just such a great spot to be in if you're orange team. The only thing you have to be worried about is a team jump padding in from forge on top of you. But even then, you have a great opportunity to move with so much area down into the bottom parts of the next upcoming storm change. Yo, what do the casters call this storm change, by the way? I'm not sure like the official names for this stuff. As I said that, it looks like they ended up jump padding onto them, as I said, but they ended up getting routed as a result. Orange team's just way too strong right now. No idea, forced to run, last alive on his team, as dark green is showing how big their dicks are right now. I dare say 18 centimeters as a pro max, as they're going in on teal. The Bebo bomb taking out 80% of the Shiv's HP. You can see one member down from each team, but dark green is just holding it so much better. The punch coming out, taking Felix to half HP, but they're going to get the member of their team alive, as no, actually, the bishop comes back in and punches that wisp away. Meanwhile, the Jhin resing on the back, and Dig PP Max just not showing people how to use Viagra over here. Kind of disappointed, but maybe with this crown, you can pull off some shenanigans. There's no idea actually in this backline. If they end up seeing him over here, they can get the crown off. But no, he gets sniped once again. 369, landing those snipes so well. The RMB on the Felix ult in order to make sure he couldn't engage onto orange team. And orange team is playing so well this game. Looks like one down from light green. Does orange team see this? There's 3 teams alive. They don't have any eyes on this fight going on right now, though. Are they going to start pushing up? Light green is in shambles right now, or teal rather is in shambles, as green just ends up killing himself to the world, deciding they want to die to BTC instead of orange team. I'm wondering if that's a metagame thing where he doesn't want to give points over to orange team, as orange team finally forcing onto light green. Only 3 members left alive. A 1 HP Crysta on this side of the map. You see the myth forced on with the Shiv ult coming out, but the sand wall going to keep the Shiv at bay right there, even with Rewinder, even with Armor Shredder, not able to take out that myth despite him being on his lonesome. And now with that engage flubbed, with them locked into this corner over here, the ult's coming up soon, no armors on them. I think teal is gonna have a rough road ahead of them. Let's see if they can pull it off. They do get the Hypervive off. Shiv able to go back up to full HP, but the poke coming out from the ghost able to keep light green at bay. The oath engaging in, trying to stop the heals, and the ultimate comes out, takes out the Crysta. Only 2 members left alive for light green, as you see them push into the corridor. Once again, the myth ult comes out, tags half of his HP. Jesus Christ, that damage. The tunneler coming back to come harass the bishop, as the bishop picks up the crown, but oh, he's taking so much damage from the storm, from the rain of arrows, and the wall comes out and denies him. Oof. Only the Shiv left alive, but he gets bonked in the end by 369. Gonna take this game playing so well. They beat pretty much every single team right there. All right, for some reason, Billy's really stupid, and I can't get the next like 2 or 3 games, however much this is gonna be, in 1080p. So we're gonna do this in 480p instead, unfortunately. As I said before, the early game is all just boring stuff. Nothing really happens here. We already know what the early game meta looks like. You hit level 7, and you don't really interact with the people until you hit level 7. So not really much for us to look at. Mainly care about how the game is played in terms of macro. And once again, we see each of the night bosses are only contested by one team respectively. It looks like teams aren't willing to play aggressively in these lobbies. I wonder why. As you see people mainly staying around the areas that they have control of. You see only one team contesting each night boss. At most, you'll see two teams fighting each other on night boss, but even then, they don't commit hard to the fight. Very surprising. Very surprising. It looks like the Chinese meta is a lot more controlled. That's what I'm noticing so far. Yo, Chinese meta looks a lot more controlled, and then the endgame circles look a lot more chaotic. We'll skip around a little bit until we start getting so the teams actually fighting each other, but what I'm noticing a lot of is passivity. Good engaged by the Crysta ult there. Half HP. Taken, and the Shiv ult. Ooh, that comes in deadly. Taking them so low. Dang. But somehow they're able to get 2 kills on each side. And I think the Crysta stalls a rewinder, so he can make some plays here as no, the Oath Shield is keeping the Crysta at bay. Very cute. Looking to get one of the members up. Ooh, dude. Oh, just barely. It was literally a millisecond away from getting him up. Are they going to go back in for it? No, they decide they can't. And the Zeph Tornado's out. Yeah. That was a really close fight. Despite how bad it looked at the beginning, they were able to get 2 kills as revenge. And going for the rest here in Kobo is pretty smart. It's going to be a little bit risky to get out, though, as teams are going to know where they are. And the fact that they're tanking Storm right now. Rat's finding a kill onto Teal, getting revenge for what they did last game. A good 2-man stun from the Oath right there. But none of his team there to follow up with him. Very unfortunate. Dude, you know what I hate? I hate it when you make plays like that. That are like pretty good. Like the Oath just landed a 2-man ult stun, right? Combo or whatever. He messed up his combo, actually. Something interesting to note. Maybe not the best mechanically, but team not able to follow up is really sad. You can see them jump padding here. And yeah, this is what I talked about. They get their res in Koba, but it's so hard for them to do much here as they're going to be forced to tank the Storm and teams are going to know exactly where they are and what to cut off. Brown team just has to cut off this escape route over here. They know exactly where pink team can be. And, ooh, the Bishop taking 1 HP and actually taken down by the Crysta, who was able to heal off the Hypervive there. Damn. I have a 3v3 scenario as the Shiv ult comes out and trades both Oath ults and the Zeph ults. The 2 ults down on each side. The Crysta still has her ult, but the shield finally broken from the Oath means that you can go aggressively onto the Crysta, and the Crysta takes down 1 member. Looking for a second here onto the Oath, but does not land the ground there. But what gets spiked does the Zeph, hitting his glider. Oh, that's not a Zeph, actually. It's a Shiv. Only 1 left alive for Brown and gonna get taken down. Ooh, I don't know why you would glider there. Oh, I didn't even notice the Zeph. The Zeph got taken down too by the Shiv. Oh, that's so tragic. You get the kill and it just doesn't do anything. Pink team can get cut off by the Storm right here by green team. Yeah, you see green team just hovering around. Yeah, the Observer finally moved over to the right team. The bomb taking out the shield of the Oath right there. So this Oath is actually really vulnerable right now. See if green team ends up pouncing on this. They're super fed. Super fed. They have yellow armors. They have good powers. They have a good team comp. And they have prime positioning here. But actually letting pink team into the area is green team as they take the anomaly forward and go for the Oath ult, but it's blocked by the other ult's shield as the Bebo cart comes in with the bomb, taking Oath to 1 HP. The Crysta ult comes back in retaliation, taking down 2 of pink team to half HP. The rewinder not used yet, I believe, on pink team's Crysta, but the tunneler coming in for the third party from Cat. No idea, leading the charge over here. The Bishop ult comes out, but goes wide, misses the other Bishop. He's not fisting that Bishop today as we have, it looks like Cat bailing out of there, but green team right now in shambles. Actually, members on every single team down right now. Green team looking for a kill onto pink, able to find it. 2 members of pink left alive. The Zeph at 1 HP. Only the Bishop left standing, but Cat's not looking aggressively here despite having a member advantage. Somewhat surprising. I'm surprised they're not looking for the kill with the crown. They know this is last alive as they do end up getting the crown off. I'm surprised by these teams' passivity. I feel like they go aggressively and then they just like don't commit. They played so scared. I feel like they have information of that fight too, because they're the ones coming in from the other area. They know no one else can be there. And they're the one with the numbers advantage too. We're not a fan of them playing this passive. I feel like they should be going more aggro. The Deathbox res stopped over here. The Bebo ult forced out. You see the Crysta pressuring the backline over here. 2 members of green team at 1 HP. Actually, all 3 members on 1 HP. Cat needs to go super aggro here. Green team is in shambles right now. They're so low, but they actually get a little bit more healthy from the Oath heal. And Cat is just playing so passively. I don't understand why. Oath ult lands on 3 members, but Crystal ult cannot convert into anything. Hot Pink gets out of that situation. As you can see, Cat is forced out of the top play. They have 2 down members right now. I feel like it's karma for them just playing so scared. They kind of deserve that after how scared they're playing. I'm not a fan of that gameplay. You need to be going in more. As do I go to? That's no idea. Why are they playing so scared? I'm padding back over to safety. Green team. So interestingly here, green team's in a kind of weird spot, but they do have be able to cross over to any land if they need to. And they can always just buy a jump pad over. All the stuff they can feather over. So they have lots of ways of getting back in. And if I remember correctly, they also had a two-way tunneler. So lots of options they have right now. They could even just like play outside of the zone area if they want to rat with the Bebo ice. So we'll have to see what they end up doing here. If they end up ratting or if they end up playing more aggro or what. They also have an E-plat, so yeah, you can see they could just play outside. Anywhere but here? Huh? Crysta just anywhere but here in the middle of another... Wait, what? Huh? And he lives that? Dude. Wait, why would you anywhere but here, though? Huh. That was weird. Cat engaging over here. Able to get a spike, but not on the character but the crown. Which means that he's not getting the crown off. And then it gets spiked himself. Dude, why are so many people getting spiked right now? Why are we doing this? Is it like... Are they doing it intentionally to try to die to specific teams? That looked a little bit ill. Speaking of ill, we got Dick 18 centimeter Pro Max over here. Against, I believe, the other team that was doing pretty well. 369. This is one of the few times I've actually seen a res go off. It looks like... Yeah, they're going to get the res because no team wants to contest this because they're going to get screwed over by Storm plus third party. But this does put light green in a bad spot. I wonder which side they're going to go in to actually get back to ground over here. As to this Chaos Steps area, the Molten Fortress right here. I've never seen an endgame over here. This looks so cramped. It's kind of cool though. I kind of like the format of this area. You see, yeah, teal team just forced to hard engage after the res, but they're in bad conditions. They have no armors. They have no healing. They have no nothing. Forced to go in. You see the Shiv trying to pop off against the Ghost, but the Oath Shield just keeps them alive. And not only the Crysta and the Bishop left alive, and no, actually the Jhin got res somehow. Not sure that happened despite the fact that Orange had 4 members alive. The Jhin able to find a pick as well, but ends up going down as a result. And only 3 members left alive from Orange team, and I believe only 1 from Teal. See Orange team trying to push Teal out of the area, but if you do that, you might get third parties. You have to be a little bit careful here. Maybe they don't know that he's in the bush. Wait, they don't know? Wait, they don't know. Huh? Purple team gets routed by light green, it looks like. We're going to see another one of these chaotic end zones. We see 6 teams left alive. We see... Ooh, Hot Pink over here is super big. They have level soul. They have level 14, level 13 around that area on some members. So that means that they're going to have multiple level 4 abilities. They're really strong right now. In theory, they should probably be the ones winning this lobby, assuming they play well. We'll have to see as they end up pushing Orange team out of their area, forcing Orange team back. A good engage by the Felix. It's a nasty heat shield and a snipe from the Zepholt. 2 members taken down from Orange, and the last straggler going down to light green. Yeah, no, Hot Pink's gonna just have good positioning to make sure no one is able to take their zone. They have a pretty good zone at that too, being at the northmost part of the map. There's a lot of lava to protect them too, and you see the remote laser just being so annoying. This guy is still hiding in the bush. This Crysta's a little rat. One thing I see pretty interestingly is a lot of these weapons are stuck on blue for a lot of these players. It looks like because so many teams are farming, a lot of players aren't able to get as much gold to be able to get their weapons and whatnot up as the Mega Avalanche comes out, followed by the Bishop ult, able to take down 2 players from Hot Pink instantly. The Crysta going back in the back line, but not able to find anyone that gets taken down because he misplaced. The heat shield, the engage from the Felix coming out in combination with that Bishop punch, able to get revenge. Is Hot Pink rat, despite their good engage, lose that fight. And then go back into the greeted, dude. They greeted so hard here. No, that's so bad. That's so bad. You just had to cut your losses at the point. They greeted going back in despite the fact that they had no cooldowns, despite the fact that they were already behind in the fight. They get punished even harder. They're 1 HP. They lost another member. They do have the crown. That is working for them. And Pink did get hurt pretty bad from that. They're not going to have as many armors now. Rat. You can't do that. You can't go in like that. As Hot Pink decides it's time to engage on Rat, Zephyl comes out. Anti-synergy with the Felix there. Good anti-Moby field coming out. And then the Crysta ult lined up with it. That stun coming out from the anti-Moby field, guaranteeing the shots from the Crysta. Now only 13 seconds for this crown to go off. A flubbed engage with bad synergy means that Rat is going to get their teammates back up 5 seconds until this crown pops. You see, no other team wants to stop them from doing this. Rat doesn't, or Hot Pink doesn't want to push back into this either. Now, Hot Pink does have good positioning here. They do have probably the best zone in the game right now, or best part of the map in the game. Light Green also having a pretty good part of the map. They have a lot of territory. It's all on flat land. It's in great corridors for their myth, for their zoning, for their kingpin, for their oath. So they have that going for them. And the zone RNG each of them. All right, Light Green's in the best position right now. We'll see how other teams end up capitalizing on this. The Bebo trying to pressure with the bomb over here. So many of these teams are on poverty powers right now. You see so many borderline useless powers, and I feel like this is the story of this patch. So many times you have to just like make do with what you got. Rad is the one team I think that has like actual powers to all of their players. But if you look at Dark Green, for example, they have like basically nothing. Light Green has a few powers. They have Fixer, they have Nuke, they have Two-Way, they have GA. They have a little bit going for them. Hot Pink, though, all they have is really glider jets. The Nuke coming out, going to kill that bonfire. The Crystal coming out, taking him extremely low. Surprised Purple team is not scouting out over here, trying to see what's going on. They could have actually third-partied Rad right there, maybe taken out a member for free. You see the Bebo just charging up his bomb and holding up his LMB, trying to zone people, and it's so much pressure because it's so hard to interact with. You can't kill that bomb when he's sitting on it like that, because he'll just knock it to you and you'll just end up dying. Even an Oath Shield just breaks instantly to it. Storm Nades to push these people out of their areas. It looks like Rat. Ooh, good Storm Nade usage. This forces Rat to push through one of these Storm Nades, losing half their HP as they go into an engage and hard commit to it, but actually a little bit too early on one of them. Looks like JBC using their Storm Nade well, but one of these North teams, I didn't see who ended up using that Storm Nade, ended up using it poorly. There's no other Storm Nade coming out right now. Right, you need to engage here. You need to throw a jump pad. You need to do something. You need to walk past these teams. There's actually a little bit of land over here they can play on. They have E+, they have everything. If they jump pad past over here, if they have a jump pad, they just walk past through these teams over to the little bit of land. No team can engage on you. And ooh, Dark Green RNG is the best spot on the game. The Storm moves over to them. Now all the teams are going to have to converge back, and Rat's hard sense on the people that were messing with them earlier. They end up getting actually no pick so far. One finally goes down in the Felix, and this Mega Avalanche comes out to stop any retaliation from coming through, and a second pick found because of it. And you can see Light Green doesn't want to go in because they know Dark Green's going to third party them here. Maybe they can look for a hook. Maybe they can look for something small, but no, all they're going to get is a little bit of power as the Abyssal Eye. Maybe a pick on the Lone Straggler of the Zeph, and that should mean that Pink team is routed here. Light Green and Red are both in really bad positions right now. A two-way coming out, actually. Good two-way. Good two-way. It's probably going to go behind toward the back of the zone. That's great. Yeah, you see it in that little corner right there. That's really good. So Light Green does have two escape options. They can go through, or they can take that two-way. And Dark Green is going to play around both of them. You see a nuke coming out for the bonfire of Dark Green. So now no more bonfire. And Rad is actually trying to Why would you do that? If you're Rat, why would you do that? Now you have nothing for the engage over here, and they're just watching. They're just letting it happen. They see everything going on, and they don't even bother going in. Rat, what are you doing? This is such a misplay. You're letting Dark Green get away with murder right now. As you see, Dark Green, an amazing engage from them, to be fair. As you see, the mid hiding in the wall, 1 HP left. If I'm Rat, you have to take care of Dark Green here. The myth doesn't matter to you. Dark Green has the cooldowns. They're your competition. This myth is literally useless. You need to take out Dark Green right now. They're stuck in this choke. They're stuck in such a bad position. The Oath ult is up right now. You need to go in there. You need to send it on them, but they're not doing anything. Rat, I feel like you're misplaying this so hard. The Oath ult comes out, but he doesn't do it over the shield. He doesn't stun them. They end up getting one down, though. The Oath goes down first. The Tonka comes out, but not able to find any value. But two on the backline are taken extremely low from the Crysta. The Bishop ult comes out, not able to find the snipe on the Crysta, though. I believe still having the Rewinder. And Rad taken down in the end. Dude, they misplayed that so hard. They misplayed that so hard. So hard. That, I'm gonna be honest, Rad. That was really, really bad. Really bad. They had every way to win there. Dark Green forced onto Light Green and gave them the easiest win of their life if they just collapsed on that as they see it happening. And they saw it happening. It was on their vision. All they have to do is go in there, throw their AoEs in that small corridor that both teams were in. GG. It's over. I don't know why you would ever force on light green there. They're not the problem. They're not the problem right there. For Rat. I don't know why the Oath ult was wasted. Really poor decision making from Rat. Ends up costing them the game. They lose. They get second place for it. I don't even think that was Dark Green playing ball. I think that was Rat just trolling. I think they just put themselves in a position to lose rather than Dark Green putting themselves in a position to win. I actually think Dark Green ended up misplaying too. They put themselves in a position to lose because they forced in the corridor instead of trying to give space and not engaging right there. But mechanically, they outplayed the enemies, and so they end up winning because of it. As we see a little bit of action going on here in the early game. Obviously, resurgence in the game, so not really too much going on. I believe this is game 4 now. Let's skip forward a little bit, see what's happening. You can see the night boss. One of the night bosses is up over down on Prisma. It has a boom box on it. Not a single team is contesting it. They don't even care. They don't even care. Wait, why do they not even care? Looks like they're leaving the yellow armor for, yeah, the Ghost over the Jhin? Huh? Jhin doesn't need armor? Kappa? And not really much going on. Let's keep skipping ahead until we get into a little bit of action, and then we can start watching from there. Everyone's just doing some early game shenanigans. It looks like a crown was picked up. Yeah, early crown picked up from Rat. Glider. Did he glider? Oh no, he ground dashed. Okay. Okay, he ground dashed. I thought he glided in the middle of the Oath ult. I was like, dude, this guy is a lunatic. Lunatic. Why does I feel... I mean, every time I look at Rat's screen, they are always in bad positions, getting spiked once again. But why? How do we even get spiked here? What? Dude, there's so many players that are getting spiked. Yeah, why even glide there? Why even glide there? You can just mantle on your chill. There's no excuse to get spiked there. Oh, they knew exactly where the crown was. A good engage from Nice with the glider jets. And if they get this crown, they're going to get so much EXP from it. Ooh, a good Talia shove. But the Crysta ult is going to give him so much mobility to get away. Oh, if he gives the kill over, this actually procs the crown. Less than a minute left on that crown. Are they going to be able to kill him? They are, but one of their members does go down. But they do get the EXP from the crown, so... Overall, if they're able to recover, that is a win. But Brown team over here is engaging on them hard. They eat the napalm heavily, though. But it's not going to matter because Pink team is in shambles right now. They're so spread out. They're so disoriented. That's only going to be one member left alive for the Pink team. Now, they are going to go for the res here, but... Oh, teleport soul. Ooh... Teleport soul coming out from Brown team as the Bishop engages hard. Looks to the punch. Able to find it, but doesn't really get too much from it. Dash coming out in return. Pink team gets out alive. I don't know. I'm skipping forward right now. Teleport soul once again is going to be met by a Jewel combo, but he doesn't pick up the orb due to the bug right now. Dang. Me when Jewel is unplayable because of a bug. Yup. But I'm assuming this guy's a one trick. Shove missed. You can see the... Oh, good R&B into the wall right there. Surprised he's not following up, but maybe he's scared of the bombing run or potential teammate retaliations. Brown team does have teleport soul, but when there's a lot of teams left alive like this, teleport soul loses a lot of value. 7 teams still left alive. Zone's closing in very small. Very soon, too. One thing I'm noticing... So, I'm noticing a few things. 1, teams are living a lot longer. 2, it's a lot harder to get reses off. 3, it feels like the aggression is very weird because sometimes they'll play super passively when they... Is that another spike? How many times have we been spiked that I've watched? That's like 7. Well, it's like the stupidest ways to get spiked too. Oath ult goes wide. Wide people sad. Green team. Ooh, dude, did they hard engage right there? A good Zeph ult to stop No Idea from getting in on that. Is that No Idea? No, it's not. Oh, I don't know why I said that. Dude, the E-plat stop them, but they jump at it over it. The glider jet's coming in, able to get the punch on the Oath, forcing him to... Oh, he gets a spin dash out, but no, not quite able to live. The Zeph now going to get turned on. Goes through the wind ring, able to just barely live. Gets clipped by the wall, but is he going to be able to run away from the Jhin? No! And light green is completely taken out by Teal. Good chase by them, but now Teal getting engaged on by Brown rather, but able to find a pick. I think Brown can still fight this, though. I think they're in a better position to win this fight. Are they going to go in? They do look for the death box res? Wow. That was a very confident Deathrock's res. He's just stuck it in their face. I respect that. One big thing I'm noticing a lot is these teams are hard committing to go for Deathbox reses. Like right there, and in earlier fights as well, if you remember last game, teams just instantly start sticking the Deathbox res in the middle of fights. And they know that their objective is not necessarily to take the fight, but just to get their teammate back alive. And they know the enemy team can't retaliate to it. That's a play I might have to steal. Crysta ult lands on literally nobody. Hate to see it. This is actually one of the hacked final zones. You see only 6 teams alive on night 3 right now. Not really much to say. It looks like it's a little bit standoffish right now. You see the Jewel just sitting on top of the anomaly. Obviously, no one's ever going to be able to pressure him. They go on me just like the anomaly regroups with this team. Not much to say. Teams are just waiting for the zones to start closing in more, seeing who they can pressure. But at the moment, it's not really too much. A mega cluster nuke zoning them all off. A little bit misangled, though. I think they could have forced the green team into the abyss, but they end up in the abyss anyway. Good engage from the Felix, but no follow-up from his team. Once again, spikes coming out. Why do we keep glidering in the middle of combat, bro? You guys got to stop this. China, what are you doing? Stop glidering in the middle of combat like that. You guys are getting spiked so often. That's like the 4th time this game. But a great engage coming out. The Crown realized, and the Felix is back alive. And why do I even say anything? Why do I even speak? You give someone a moment of praise, and then they just ruin everything. Why do I even speak, bro? That's wild. That's wild. He just died twice to spikes twice in a row. The ult comes out, and it hits nothing. But it does stop the engage, as they are able to find the final member of Pink Team. They're getting spiked so much, I don't understand it. It's weird, because like some of the players are playing really well, and some of the players are just getting spiked. And they're on the same team. Like, what the fuck? I don't understand if like one of the teams is like newer or whatever, but like, damn. You people are just playing with friends. In a $10,000 tournament, though, there's no way. As for the first time ever, I think I actually see Dark Green losing a fight. The B-bomb gonna secure a kill on the ship, but once again, Crown realized, and that means that only one is gonna be left alive for Dark Green. The Oath over here at 1 HP. Surprised he's not healing himself. As Pink in between 2 teams right here, Brown and Teal, but they have no cooldowns right now, but they're somehow repelling both teams. The Bishop ult lands on two people getting fisted. God, I wish Bishop would fist me like that. Not even fair. See Jewel left on a lonesome. Is she last alive on Pink? I actually can't tell. No, she's not. Okay. 5 teams left alive right now. They're just leaving the bungee on the ground. Dude, this guy has an ability to haste rune, and he's leaving bungee on the ground. Huh? Someone explain that to me. Like, now. There's a bungee shot on the ground, and he just let it fall into the abyss. Okay. Last alive over here is no idea. He's going to get run down by Pink Team. Is he going to get Goomba stomped by the Jewel? No, he doesn't want to get spiked. They're able to find him and take him down. I think they got a soul for that. Not 100% sure. There's 4 teams left alive now. I think each team is down a player from... Oh, no. 1 team has players. So 2 teams have 3. No, 2 teams have 4. 1 team has 3. And 1 team has 1. It looks like. Yeah, the Oath is solo left alive as the ship pops ult's trying to live here. Dashing out. Oh, there was a wind ring there. Okay, I didn't see that. I was like, did he glider jet or something? How is he still alive? No, he's dead. Yeah. Jewel over Abyss. LMAO. This guy doesn't even have Abyss specialist, man. Jewel over Abyss LMAO. The Mega Avalanche comes out, going to force Teal back. But actually the wall ends up destroying most of those snowballs. But still forced back is Teal. They don't want to get third party here. The mortar not quite hitting. As you see, maybe green over here, dark green over here in this corner can get something done. The Tulia shove ends up just barely missing. A good Stormnade actually going to force Pink off this island and force them towards light green. As the Shiv ult comes out, a good ground landed on top of the Jewel. Where's the Jewel going to go as he just cringes his way out with the glider jets. He ends up healing, popping a hypervive, going to go back up to full HP. Is he going to be able to get a kill and get this crown off? By the time he gets in combat, it'll be about a minute left on that crown. So if he does get a kill, his teammate will instantly respawn. We'll see as they do spot out the lonesome member of Dark Green of JBC over here. Force uses ult Izzy, and ooh, the Jewel does not get the kill. He gets the assist. So 1 minute left on that crown. We're gonna grab the soul, the armor soul from that box. Oh no, that wasn't the armor soul. Oh wait, that was not soul. What did they just grab? I don't even know. As brown team, the 2 members of their team over here trying to engage on teal or try to get out or something. And one of them is about to go down. Yep, to the Jhin right there. As we see Bishop hiding in a bush over here, trying to rat. And dude, that jewel just did so much damage. Holy. Oh, that was a Jhin clone. I thought it was 2 different people. Okay, that makes more sense. They're able to get the crown off. And so now pink team with the most members in the lobby right now at 4. Light green, teal rather, at 3 members. They did get a crown. They don't know that Bishop is in this bush. Bishop can play spoiler here. Looks like they might be thinking that there is a rat, but they don't know exactly where. As Bishop is going to have to start pushing up soon. He does see a scan grenade in front of him, so he can obtain vision if he wants to. As you see, Jewel going extremely aggressively over here onto the Bishop. Forced to use his ult, but Bishop taken down by a snipe from the Ghost. Now separated is the Shiv from the rest of his team. The Crown on the Lonesome, but not able to get any hits from the Crysta ult is this Crown over here. And now with all his cooldowns missed, stuck into a corner against the Jewel over the Abyss. What is he able to do? He's hiding inside of out of bounds right now, trying to heal up a little bit. The mortar comes up on him over there, and he's starting to tick down. The Icarus damage ticks, the Storm ticking him too. And he is taken down. No more Crown gameplay left. 2 teams left. Only the Bishop for Brown, and he is taken down in the end. I think this is the last game. Let's see if anything changes. It looks like most teams are running the same team comp. No one's really changing. Obviously, Crysta's still on every single team. Bishop on most teams. Oath on most teams. Felix seeing a good amount of play. I'm surprised there's no Myth. We see a lot of Ghost. We're seeing more Ghost than Myth, actually. It looks like China prioritizes the Ghost over the Myth. I'm not a fan of that personally. I feel like Myth, every time I play Myth, I feel like I'm more powerful than I am on Ghost. I wonder why they prioritize the Ghost so much. Is that a brawl I just saw? Dude, we have a brawl in this game. Holy. What a gamer. This is going to be a fun game. We have Brawl, Shiv, Crysta, Oath. These guys are full sending it. Let's get past this early game. A little bit of fighting going on, but mostly over camps. No one's going to care about this fighting, though. It's just going to be picking off stragglers and whatnot. I don't care about it personally. Let's go forward. Yeah, once again, just picking off stragglers. Don't care. Ooh, a team coming in from the Storm, though. Now I do care. Oh, Resurgence. Oh, boy. Yeah, dude just resurges on top of Brown team. And actually... Oh, my God. He almost took out the Bishop. The Bishop might actually die to the Storm here. But he'll get rezzed by his team, surely. We'll see. He's so low. Can he actually make it out of the Storm, or is he going to die to the tick? There's no way, right? He actually died to the tick. Oh. Dies to world. Dies of cringe. That's sad. At least he didn't give the kill over to the enemy. He died to world. Yeah, I mentioned it before. All right, dude. Look at the map right now. There is nobody contesting the night bosses ever. 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 Last game, they were uncontested as well. The game before that, only 1 team on each respectively. They just don't care. They're playing so safe. They're going for vaults. They're looking for powers. They're playing so safe. They're looking for farm positioning. Actually, honestly, even a lot of vaults are still up on the map, it looks like, if the UI is proper. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. What is going on then? It's night 1. Is night 1 and vaults aren't being done? We're not contesting night bosses. We're low level. We haven't farmed too well. We're not fighting. I'm very confused. They finally go for night boss halfway into night 1, and no one's even remotely near them, so it's just completely uncontested. The other night boss, by the way, completely left alone. To be fair, that one is power shuffler, but I mean, you have a bunch of tree costumes here, so you can get good powers. As, dude, I see 4 brown players in a choke like that. I want to fire a Crysta ult on them so bad. I want to do it. It just looks so juicy. Is he gonna go for the farm? This is so greedy. Why is brown team not kicking these guys out of this area? I feel like this is a mistake from brown team right here. They have to know that light green is in this area. They know they're down a member too, because they just killed one. They know they're weak, but they're just going for farm instead of killing them. I feel like China plays too passively. Ironic, because I see a brawl on my screen. I was watching the brawl to see if you could do anything against the Jewel, but they're mainly just like trading cooldowns and stuff. As, ooh, the Shift tries to go in but gets stunned by the Oath. Oof. Now it's just fight over. Oh wait, but it doesn't matter because his team cleaned up for him. Hey, good stuff, Brawl team. Oh, that's why. Pink team is so low level, and they don't have members with them. Like green forced out of here. This is part of the reason why I didn't want them to greed earlier. As you see, one of them goes down. They were in a bad spot. They could have been screwed up. He just ran into the little spiky things. I mean, if we're not going to get spiked over the Abyss, we might as well die to the spikes inside of the Abyss. It's like the same thing, right? I don't know. Weird macro coming out of light green there. As you see, purple, 1 member down. The Shiv ult's coming out, but not getting too much value over here. Don't get hit by the Ezreal ult. No, he didn't. But he's healing in the middle of combat. Ooh, that's a little risky. Did you take down the Shiv? They're going to get back up their members, too. Is he stomping? Yo. Dude, this brawl is going so hard. Oh, but he missed his ult. Missed his R&B. He does get the kill, though. This character is looking mighty. He's going back in. You got the kill. You bailed out your team. You're 1 HP. And instead of tethering out, you tether in. Giga Chad. Wait, is that Giga Chad or is that Giga Dumb? That's Giga Chad, right? Little loner in this bush over here, Crysta. As we see, not too much coming out of finding her, though. Team regrouped with them. 3 teams in this area. The Bishop going to join on them soon. 2 teams down in Cold Fang. See, the area with 3 has... Hot Pink knows that there's 2 teams here. Yet they're playing aggressively. Surprised by that. I feel like that's kind of ill. They saw the light pink right above them, and then they just like go in when they can easily get third partied. Purple playing properly for the res, playing as a 3-man unit over here. Gonna get this res off. Sticking it like it. That's a super late nuke, by the way. And his own teammate gets punished as a result. He cuts off his own team with the nuke. A good R&B, but is anyone going to follow up? The Oath trying to pod race in. Oath ult comes out. The Abyssal Breaker smash does jack shit there. Blocked actually by the Chonker cannons. You Chonkers are the new wave. That is way too OP. Yeah, big misplays coming out of Brown team there. A late nuke. Badly angled as well. And then mistimed engages by their whole team. He had an anti-Moby field as well. He could have thrown in the corridor behind them. They would have been so screwed. Could have done a lot there. See the Shiv ult coming out, not able to find much value. Zeph ult wasted, blocked by the Oath, but the Oath ult also kind of wasted there. Or actually, no, he's able to find the kill on the Felix, but it's not really going to do anything. As we have Oath running away through the Storm Grenade, going to be found by Brown Team over here, going to get taken down. Brown Team retaliating on top of Hot Pink, and now Hot Pink going to have to run away. Is this guy not R&B max? That R&B looks mighty small. It is not looking very 18 centimeter Dick Pro Max. The pink team wrapping around over here. Are they 3-man units? They are 3-man units. But Hot Pink is a 3-man units right now as well. And Brown potentially going to play spoiler over here. As green team, we've seen them in this exact high ground before. This is a really disgusting place to hold. As you have great access to escape anywhere you want. And you have amazing high ground where Coldfang can never mess with you without jump padding in on you. And if they're jump padding in on you, they'll never see what they're jump padding into. So, just a great place to hold, honestly. Brown team camping the res over here, making sure none of the teams that are down members can get a res off. Very smart. And also just a good corridor for them to hold in general. They have an Oath right there that they can just smash an Abyssal Breaker strike down. As it looks like Hot Pink loses another member that we can't see right now. The Crysta ult snipes the Ghost in the back line. In is the Felix ult as well, able to find the other Felix, and 1 member left for like green. That is the Celeste, forced off, going to pick up that crown over there and pray for a miracle. I have 3 teams actually engaging over here. Light pink, it looks like, engaged on teal, but they're bailed out when they're losing the fight by brown over here, and teal loses a member because of it. Light pink, you are so lucky. That looked like a little bit of an ill engage. Engaging at a numbers disadvantage. And when you know there's a third party right next to you. Maybe they knew that they were going to go in, be a little bit cringe, and then just pray for the third party. Maybe that was their game plan to get out of that situation. But I didn't feel like they had that much of a threat for them to actually go for a play like that. Very surprising. We see Cat engaged on, and 1 member just dies instantly to literally nothing. I think people just auto-attacked him. I don't know, that guy's dead right now. The Abyssal Breaker Strike comes out once again from the Oath, but not too much value attained from it. You can see this Twister getting so much value, though. People just dancing in the air, kiting each other out. And Brown Team, all 4 members still left alive. Cat over here is crying right now. Last member left alive for Hot Pink. The Bishop, Hover Wings used already, has no ultimate. Oh no, does have ultimate, so can't escape any situation. One of the strengths of Bishop is the fact that she's going to be able to rat so much. So when your team ends up dying like this, Bishop is going to be one of the last characters alive, and she can run away so easily if she has Hover Wings, if she has her ult, if she has... Yeah, look at that. She's in the middle of 4 players. She just ults out. Now, she's running into another team, but even then, she just ran into another team without her ults, without the Hover Wings, and she's still living. Like, look at this. She's just running past every single team. Dude, this bishop is literally saying hi to every team in the lobby. Punches the Jhin into the wall. Still alive, by the way. Has run into 6 different teams, by the way. Still alive, by the way. Still alive, by the way. Finally dead. It took 7 teams to take down the bishop. 7 teams. What is that, a 35v1? Oh, no, it's 4 players. 28v1? Damn. The bishop ult goes a little bit wide, too. The hitbox on that is so misleading. And then the other bishop just running away over here. It's pretty funny, actually, watching all the bishops just run away from each other. They just keep running away. No one can catch this character. This character is so fucked up. We hate bishop. Surely she gets gutted next batch, right? I don't think I want to live in a bishop meta, says the Crysta player. Alright, but be honest with yourself. Do you really want to live in a bishop meta when what you just watch right there is what's going to be happening every single game? Where she's going to be able to run away from every single team and no one will ever be able to kill her? Nope. BTC engaging over here onto brown team, but they look a little bit discoordinated. The shift getting so much value, taking Crysta down to, or not Crysta, bishop down to 1 HP, and he gets third party taken down by Rat over here. That was a pretty bad engage from Teal, but I think they were just trying to get past the other teams to get to a position where they weren't going to die. So many teams in this final zone still. 6 teams left alive. Such a small area. I can't tell which team is ahead right now. You see the Chonker cannon set up over here, and they're just getting a lot of value. No one wants to push into those. BTC picked up a crown, but they're going to have to move in toward the zone soon. The storm closing in on them, and they don't have a good area for it. If they start moving towards the other teams, or pretty much any part of the zone, there's like a team to meet them. But actually, as I say that, some of the teams end up backing off. They decide they don't want to be in a position where they can potentially get third party. So teams are spreading out a little bit more. A 2-way TB on that bonfire, trying to steal that bonfire for themselves. You see them knocking the B-bomb off of the other bonfire as well. A Mega Cluster Nuke coming out. One thing we're not seeing is we're not seeing teams pick up their bonfires in front of the cluster nukes as an Oath ult comes out and takes down the ship instantly before he's able to ult. 2 members down for BTC. Only the Jhin with the crown left alive, but that crown has been ticking for a little bit. He can potentially get a single pick and maybe a revive off of that, as light brown over here is actually pretty low, but he doesn't see it. He doesn't spot it out, and he ends up moving into purple team, the only full team in the area, actually. So a little bit of a well, I guess he doesn't have the information, but from our POV, a mistake. He's looking for the jewel, but the jewel left shifts out, and patience had by the Jhin. 30 seconds left on that crown, as you see members dying left and right. Rat getting 3 kills on top of pink team. Only the jewel is here on his lonesome. The Crysta engaging in on him, not able to find the ground, but the jewel ults out. Is he gonna get spiked here like everyone else has been recently? It looks like no, but he's able to get away from the brawl, but he does die to the shot of the Shiv, taken down by that quick shot. And I think someone was able to find the Jhin while all that was going on, because there's only 3 teams left alive. Yeah, and Teal's not one of them. Rat over here has 2 souls, pretty good powers, a good team comp, a mega cluster nuke, level 15. But you know what they don't have? Oh, never mind. I was gonna say they don't have a Crysta, but they actually do. All right, surely they win this, right? As you see them engaging right here, a little bit risky, as if you start a big fight right now, you're going to get third-partied by dark green, and you know that's gonna happen. I don't know if you can be looking for plays like that. You can look for a little bit of poke. Maybe you can look for some picks. Is recalling in their face not exactly what I'd be looking for. The Oath ult coming out once again. The Bishop ult's going straight into the enemy team, but even when that character messes up, she's still so safe. The Mega Avalanche coming out just to peel, and dark green now lurking around. They are pretty weak themselves, but they've been performing the best this tournament so far. So maybe mechanically they're just better than everyone else in the lobby. See, the zone shifts once again to favor dark green, and it looks like they have a Fortnite soul or something as well. Those walls coming in, so pivotal. And you see they leave 1 corridor right there so the teams can funnel in. All 3 teams over here have a bonfire, so they have a little bit of refuge and vision right now. Purple team is actually pretty fed too. They have some pretty good powers. Double sandwall on this brawl. Let's see how much work the brawl can get done. We actually haven't seen another brawl until this game, so this is the first brawl we've actually seen, and he's making it to final 3 over here, and he's been performing pretty decently the whole game, except for the one point where he did kill himself for no reason. Maybe he can get some work done. All 3 teams have full members right now, and honestly, this game's mainly going to come down to whoever ends up engaging first. If a team ends up engaging here and gets themselves third-partied, I mean, they just lose on the spot. So teams are pretty much just waiting right now, trying to see what's going to happen with the storm changes as it starts closing in. You see Brawl trying to get a little bit of his power built up right here, just healing back on that bonfire, getting some chip damage, but not really too much going on. Keep in mind, Rat does have the armor repair soul and shrapnel soul, so they're going to be winning out on these trades as long as they look for this poke. As you can see, the yellow armor Brawl, only 1 tick of it left, and oh, if he hit that, it was actually completely gone. This bishop is so obnoxious here. You can see the range differential of not having the bishop and having the Brawl instead. It's just too dominant. Those satchel charges are just so insane. Half the HP gone right there. The Oath ult right now, but I think that's a little bit too ham. The bishop ult goes in, smacks Oath straight in the face, and looks like Radish is going to back off here, knowing that if they continue to engage, they will win the 1v1, but they will get third-partied. That's why I actually didn't like that engage there from Rat. They were getting the poke. They just need to force purple team into dark green so that way they can be the ones third-partying. But instead, they get storm-nated here. They're going to be forced into a really bad choke point here. They get beat bombed. Is he going to explode the bomb? He's not exploding. Why is he not exploding the bomb? Huh? Was that a bug? Okay, for some reason, we're helping the enemy team and we didn't explode the bomb. I don't know why that happened. You see, yep, red team doing exactly what they need to do, pincering behind purple team, and they're hard forcing like that in their face. I really don't like this, but dark green actually lets them get away with that. Are they going to force right now? Rat did get their cooldowns back as the Oath is instantly punched into the wall and taken down, instantly deleted. The Felix getting huge value on that backside, able to take someone down to half HP, and the Bishop is going to go down as well as the Felix. One member left alive in this Crysta. Crysta is a 1v4 kind of character, but we're going to see how much work he can get done here. No ultimates left for him. And he is against another Crysta as well, but he's cutting out pretty well so far, and he does have a crown. If he can get 1 kill and play out the stall, it's a 1v3. Now, keep in mind, there is an Oath, and that character does have a shield that can block all of Crysta's spells. As the Oath goes in and starts smacking that Crysta, and you know what? Looks like it's going to be enough. The Crysta is going to go down, even despite what I think were misplays. Rats ends up winning that game. I feel like what I'm watching is like the teams are not punishing mistakes enough. I feel like they're extremely passive, and they don't punish mistakes as much as I feel like they should. A lot of these teams are getting away with engaging. A lot of these teams are getting away with playing super aggressively when they are playing super greedily. Greedily is a better word because it's not quite aggressive. They're playing for like farm and whatnot. And I think what's happening is the teams are scared of losing a single fight that'll just make it too hard for them to win the rest of the game, because reses are so sparse in the tournament environments when there's so many teams alive. That's why I think that teams are playing really scared and don't want to take fight. But I feel like they're letting the other teams get away with things that they shouldn't be able to. So many illegal spots. One example, you remember that game when the green team had their backs to the storm and brown team was right next to them over by Underrot? They were down a member. Brown team had full positioning. They had levels, they had members, they had better powers, armors, everything. And instead of chasing them down, instead of getting those kills, they went back to farm when they knew no one else was in the area. Stuff like that, I think they can clean up on a little bit. Honestly, I thought they would be better, but I think my final thoughts are I wasn't too impressed by the level of gameplay coming out from this tournament. I was told good things, and I've seen good things from personal POVs of the players, but I think that their team play is behind NA, actually.